guys? Okay, so let's do this. This is the first part. We're starting with Chapter 1, Fall Semester Review. And C is between A and B, so I'm going to draw A and B, and it just says between. It doesn't say that it's in the middle. So right there is C. I'm going to do 3x plus 4, and then CB is 7x minus 12. The entire thing it says is 6x plus 20. So I'm going to do 6x plus 20. And what I'm going to do is use segment addition. And I'm going to go ahead and set up the problem. So 3x plus 4 plus 7x minus 12 equals 6x plus 20. Okay, so we want to combine like terms. Basically, I'm taking this portion and this portion, adding them together and setting it equal to the entire portion. So I will get 10x, and then I will add these two together, minus 8x equals 6x plus 20. All right, not 8x, just 8. And I'm going to move the x's over in the constant. So subtract 6x, add 8, and add 8, and I will get 4x equals 28. Divide by 4, and x equals 7. Right, moving along, there's two ways to name this. You start either up here, go down to the actual angle, M, and then out to N. So angle Q, M, N, or you can go the opposite way and say angle N, M, Q. Okay, right here, it says the measure of angle 2 is x plus 21. The measure of angle 4 is 8x minus 42. All right, well, these are vertical angles. Right here and right here. And we know that vertical angles are kind of like kissing beaks, so you would set them equal to each other. They're directly across from each other. So 8x minus 42 equals x plus 21. I'm going to subtract x, and add 42, and add 42, and I will get 7x equals 63. I'll divide by 7 and divide by 7 and get x equals 9. Okay, well then it wants the measure of angle 4. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to go ahead and plug x in for angle 4.
Haley Monet Miller, please come to the attention.
Sorry, didn't want the big announcement being in the video. But x equals 9, and now I'm going to plug it in for angle 4. So we're going to do 8 times 9, right, using this expression right here, and then minus 42. So 8 times 9 is 72, minus 42 would give me 30. So right here, I get 30 degrees, and it also wants me to solve for angle 1, which is right here. Well, that's a linear pair. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 180, because a straight line is 180, right? These two angles, linear pair. And I'm going to subtract 30, and I will get 150 degrees. Okay, moving down again, another linear pair. So I'm just going to draw this line and kind of set up a linear pair. I'll call this angle A and this angle B. And what I'll do is I'll put those in. So 4x plus 12 and 2x plus 36. Well, together these two angles add to 180. So I'm going to do 4x plus 12 plus 2x plus 36 and set it equal to 180. All right, I'll kind of combine like terms right now, and I will get 6x plus 48 equals 180. I'll subtract 48 from both sides and get 6x equals 132, and x equals 22. Perfect. Okay, moving right along to number 5. All right, C and D are complementary angles, meaning that together they form a 90-degree angle. So I'm just going to go ahead and put C right here, 8x minus 18, and D right here, 4x. So I will add those together and set it equal to 180. I mean, not 180, 90, because complementary is 90 degrees. So 8x minus 18 plus 4x equals 90. I'll combine like terms and get 12x minus 18 equals 90. And I'll move this 18 over and get 12x equals 108. And then I'll divide by 12 and divide by 12 and get x equals 9. Okay, so it wants me to solve for angle C, which means the measure of angle C is going to be equal to 8 times 9 minus 18. So 72 minus 18, I'm going to get 54 degrees. And that's number 5. Okay, so down here, we've been given some information. These are opposite rays, so together they form 180 degrees, right? Opposite rays form a straight line. We also know that MT, this segment comes through and it bisects this angle right here. So angle 2 and angle 3 are going to be congruent. So then it says that the measure of angle 4 is equal to 43. The measure of angle 1 is equal to 71, and that the measure of angle 3 is equal to 2x plus 19. All right, that means that this angle, because MT bisects it, is also 2x plus 19, right? These two angles are equal. So we get to add all of these angles together and set it equal to 180 because they're opposite rays, and opposite rays form a straight line. So I'm going to do 2 times 2x plus 19 to represent the two angles, 2x plus 19. I'm going to add 71 and 43 and set it all equal to 180. First thing I'm going to distribute, so 4x plus 38 plus 71 plus 43 still equals 180. I'm going to combine like terms and get 4x plus 152 equals 180. I'm going to subtract that 152 and get 28. And x will equal 7. Then I'm going to go ahead and plug in, because I want to find angle 3. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in for the measure of angle 3, 2 times 7 plus 19, which is 14 plus 19, and I will get 33 degrees. Okay, so that's chapter 1. Moving on to chapter 2, we want to state the property here, and it says if x plus 8 equals 12y, then 12y equals x plus 8. That is just flipped, so that would be the symmetric property. It's literally just written the other direction. Okay, so this is substitution because we say that C equals 30. Well, instead of C, we're going to plug in that 30. So substitution. Hopefully I spelled that right. This would be reflexive. It's the exact same thing equals the exact same thing. And this one is our ballerinas. All right, if x equals y plus 1, and y plus 1 also equals z, we can get rid of this common part, and we can say x is equal to z. That is the transitive property. Okay, next up what we did is we went ahead and subtracted 8 to get 3x equals 12. So subtraction. And here what we did is we multiplied both sides by 2 in order to get 2pq equals 32. So multiplication. And moving right along, if r is the midpoint of TS, so here's TS, just to give you a visual, and r is right in the middle, then TR is congruent to RS. Definition of midpoint. Definition of a midpoint. All right, so if AB equals CD, then CD equals AB. Well, again, that's just flip-flopped, so symmetric. And then here, if B is between AC, so here's A, here's C, B's just between it, not necessarily in the middle, then AB plus BC equals AC. That would be segment addition. All right, I'm going to move down to chapter 3 now, going a little bit past. But it says write an equation of a line that passes through these points. So the first thing we need to find is our slope. And that's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And I am going to leave those formulas on the board, but you can also write them on your note card. So I'm going to go ahead and do 13. So my slope is going to be equal to 13 minus 5 over negative 10 minus negative 8. So that's going to give me 8 over negative 2, which will be negative 4. Okay. So I'm going to take this and choose either point and plug it into point slope. So I'm going to do y minus 13 equals my slope, negative 4, times x minus negative 10. Okay, so y minus 13 equals negative 4x, right? I'm distributing that. And this becomes a positive, right? Two negatives, but then I have to multiply a negative 4, so it becomes negative 40. And then I add 13, and I add 13, and I get y equals negative 4x minus 27. Okay, find the slope of the line perpendicular to the line passing through these points. So remember, perpendicular, we need the opposite reciprocal. So I'm going to do negative 3 minus negative 5 over 8 minus 12. All right, so that's going to be 2 over negative 4, which is going to be negative 1/2. But opposite, that means it's going to be positive, right? Because it goes from being negative and then flipped. So 2. Or if you wanted to write 2 over 1, that's fine as well. Find the slope of the line parallel, so that's going to mean same slope of these lines. So again, I'm going to do m equals negative 5 minus 5 over negative 7 minus negative 2. So that's going to be negative 10 on top. Two negatives become a positive, so over negative 5. Negative 10 divided by negative 5 is a positive 2, and that would be my slope, a positive 2. So, write an equation for a line that is parallel to 2x plus 3y equals 9. I'm going to put this into y equals mx plus b form first. So I'm going to do 2x plus 3y equals 9. I'm going to subtract 2x and subtract 2x. And I'm going to get 3y equals negative 2x plus 9. And then I'll divide everything by 3. And I'll get y equals negative 2 over 3x. And then plus 3. 9 divided by 3. Okay, so it's parallel. That means my slope is going to stay the same. So I now know my slope is going to be negative 2 over 3. And I'm going to use this point and plug it into point slope. So I'm going to do y minus 1 equals my slope, negative 2 over 3, x minus 3. Okay, I'm going to distribute here. And I'm going to get y minus 1 equals negative 2/3 x plus 2. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. All right, and I'm going to add this one, and I'll get y equals negative 2 over 3x plus 3. Okay, if D is perpendicular to E, so let's go ahead and say this is line D, and this is line E, and they're perpendicular, and F is also perpendicular to E, right? Here's F and E. Then what must be true of these two lines? Well, if they're perpendicular to the same line, that means they would both have slopes that are opposite reciprocals. So D would be parallel to F. Lines D and F are parallel. Let's move to 21. We'll just get through chapter 3 here, and then I will wrap up this video. Okay, so we're going to find the different measures. Well, first, I'm going to see the angle 2 and this angle. They are corresponding. So I'm going to say the angle 2 is 126 degrees. From there, I can see that 2 and 4 are vertical angles. So I'm going to say that 4 is 126 degrees. And then, what else can I say here? Well, I'm going to go ahead and figure out angle 1 and do 180 minus 126, and I will get 54. So I know that this is 54 degrees, right? Because these are a linear pair. So 54 degrees, and I know that angle 3 is 54 degrees because they're vertical angles. So 54 degrees. I also know that angle 1 and 5 are corresponding. So I know that this is 54 degrees, angle 5. And 6 and 2, well, they're corresponding, so I know that that's 126. And I know that 6 and 10 are corresponding, so I know that 10 is 126. And that 10 and 12 are vertical, so 12's 126. And 6 and 8 are also vertical, so 8 is 126. Well, then 5 and 7 are vertical, so 7 would be 54. Let me move this over. Sorry, guys. 54. And then 5 and 9 are corresponding, so this would be 54. And then 9 and 11 are vertical, so that would be 54 as well. And we just kind of leapfrog our way around the problem. Okay, so moving on to 22, these would be corresponding angles. Oh, whoops, I'll just go ahead and write that down here. Corresponding angles. And corresponding angles are congruent. So to solve, I would set them equal to each other. 2x plus 42 equals 3x plus 2. They're equal to each other. So I'm going to subtract, and I'm going to minus 2 and minus 2. I'm going to get 40 equals minus 2x, 1x, or x just equals 40. Okay, so these bad boys right here, these are alternate exterior angles. I'm just going to abbreviate and write AEA. So I'll set them equal and do 10x minus 34 equals 8x plus 2. And I'll end up with 2x equals 36. I'll divide by 2 and divide by 2 and get x equals 18. And then moving along over here, this is a tricky one. So what actually happens is, sorry that the photo's a bit off, but right here, picture this as the entire transversal. That means that this angle right here and this angle right here, they would be alternate interior angles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add these together, 80 and 22. I will get 102. And I'm going to do 3x equals 102. I'll divide by 3 and divide by 3 and get x equals 104. Okay. So, moving along, angles 1 and angle 7. Well, that's talking about these two lines, right? They're touching these two lines that could be parallel. L and B can't be parallel, and A and L can't be parallel. But from 1 and 7, A can be parallel to B, and the justification is that they are converse of alternate exterior angles. Next up is 9 and 11. Well, first of all, they're not touching any two lines that can be parallel, so none here. And those are also vertical angles. And vertical angles cannot prove lines parallel. Vertical angles cannot prove lines parallel. All right, 9 and 8. Well, that's touching line L and line M. So line L is parallel to M. And it would be the converse of same side interior angles. 9 and 8, they add to 180. Okay, so that's it for your first chunk of your study guide. I hope that helps.